Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Shelly. I'm the founder of Beauty Shaman Skincare, and I have a really fun class mapped out for us, very informal, and we're just going to kind of move through this intuitively. I am going to take some questions around the middle of this class as well as at the end. So please save them for our intermission and then at the end. The first half of this class, I'm going to go through just some basics about what we can eat for skin health and some of the things that may be damaging our skin and we're not even realizing it. And then at the end of the class, the second half, we're going to go into a facial massage. So if you are here, if you're here live on Facebook, if you're watching, go ahead and if you need to real quick, just wash your hands, make sure that you have a clean face, and then grab some kind of facial oil. I'm using one of my omega oils. If you're in the US or Canada, I have a full range of non-toxic seaweed skincare. So this is my Goddess Omega oil. And I will hopefully be opening up shipping to the UK soon, and then more countries later on. But if you want to check that out, I'm gonna be using my Goddess Omega oil today. Okay, so I think we are still bringing some people in, but I'm going to go ahead and get started with our little chat today. Oh, hello. I hear someone. Okay, so as many of you know, skincare is not just about the products that we put on our face, although that is very important. Skincare is not just how we massage our face, although that is also very important. All of these little modalities and tricks and tools that we can use every single day, all of those things add up. It accumulates and it helps to transform our faces into how we want to view ourselves when we look at ourselves in the mirror. But really, your diet and the food and the things that you consume on a daily basis are some of the biggest things that are going to have the biggest impact on your skin. And when I say things that we consume, that means food, obviously. It also means your thoughts. It also can mean your emotions. It can mean things that you're hearing from your friends or on the news. It can be the music that you listen to. It could be the things that you see, anything that you're consuming on a daily basis. If you're trying to find that radiating light from within so that your skin can look younger, look more youthful, look more rested, less stressed, you're going to want to become mindful of all of these things that we consume on a daily basis. Today, I'm going to just focus on one, but if you follow me on Instagram and if you've seen my website, you know that I'm really big on all of those things that contribute to who we are and who we're becoming. But again, today we're just going to focus on one thing that we consume daily, and that's our food. So I want to just real quickly go over things that you'll want to avoid. I know a lot of times when we're starting to change our habits about food and starting to change the conversation about food and our relationship to it, a lot of it is adding in things that are going to eventually weed all of the bad stuff out. So I am going to talk a lot about things that we can eat, but I want to just real quickly, briefly go over some of the things that may be hindering your progress with your skin, some of the things that are maybe holding you back or could be causing problems and you're not really aware of it. Number one, and I'm pretty sure everyone knows about this, is sugar. So sugar is obviously very inflammatory to the body. It's inflammatory to the skin. If we have any sort of bacterial infection going on in our bodies, in our skin, like acne, anything like that, the sugar that we eat is going to feed that bacteria, and it's going to make it harder for our bodies to heal certain skin ailments such as acne, eczeama, psoriasis, things like that. If we have excessive rosacea or redness in the skin, the sugar that we're eating is causing more inflammation. It's feeding bacteria. So not a good thing to be consuming. And a lot of times sugar is hidden in a lot of different foods, lots of sugary drinks, lots of times when we add stuff to our coffees. Anytime you're buying any like processed or packaged food, sugar can be disguised under different names. So it's just something to become mindful of. And I highly recommend that when you're starting to learn about this stuff, when you're starting to want to change certain things about your diet, to educate yourself. Don't just go off of what I'm telling you. Don't just go off of what someone else on Instagram is telling you or what a doctor is telling you. Read books, watch documentaries, educate yourself on how the body processes food, how it's broken down in your body, how it affects the skin. Really focus on bringing in that information so it no longer becomes an issue of, do I want to have that? And you change the conversation to, no, my body does not need that. Another thing about sugar is that when we consume sugar, it actually binds to certain proteins in our body. And those proteins are, when they come together with sugar, it becomes basically like a foreign invader in the body, and the body mounts an inflammatory response against that new protein molecule. And those protein molecules settle in the bottom of our dermis, which is the layer where our collagen is. And it leads to something called advanced glycation end products, otherwise known as AGEs. Very appropriate, right? So the AGEs are what lead to collagen breakdown. It starts to literally kill the collagen. So that's another reason why sugar is so bad. It's not only bad for just overall inflammation and puffiness and acne, but it also leads to this thing called AGEs, advanced glycation end products. And that breaks down collagen. It leads to more premature wrinkling, fine lines, sagging skin, and stuff like that. So that's the skinny on sugar, no pun intended. And then the next one, this is one that you may not be super aware of. When you go out to eat at a restaurant, maybe you're consuming your vegetables, your proteins, and you think that you're eating really well. But one of the things that's hidden in a lot of restaurant food, a lot of takeout food, is certain vegetable oils and the way that they use them. And this leads to the accumulation of excess omega-6 fatty acids in our body. When we cook at home, a lot of times we're using more high quality oils, we're using butter, we're using things that are high in omega-3 fatty acids, which are anti-inflammatory. So what happens is, and I can't remember the exact ratio that what it needs to be. A really good book resource is to read Dr. Mark Hyman's Eat Fat, Get Thin. That's one of the books where you can learn a lot about the ratio of omega-3s and omega-6s in your body and the damage that omega-6s do and the inflammation that it causes. And so if you are, eating out all the time or, picking up takeout and you think that you're still making those healthy choices, you might be making those healthy choices, but a lot of times this, processed food and fast food, they use a lot of these low quality vegetable oils to cook with because it's less expensive. And that leads to an influx and an unbalanced ratio or relationship between your omega-6s and your omega-3s. And that is one of the other things causing acne. It's causing the breakdown of collagen. It's causing your skin to age. Another thing, dairy. Now I know some people can process dairy and they're completely fine, but for many of my clients, and I've been in the skincare industry now for over 17 years, a lot of people find that when they start to cut down or eliminate dairy completely from their diet, they start to see much clearer skin, more radiant complexion, way less acne, less redness. So dairy, I'm not going to go too far into that. But when you start learning more about the dairy industry, you'll learn about how they, pump hormones into the cows and, how that's contributing to to all sorts of hormonal imbalances as well, which really affects the skin. Anyone who's ever been pregnant, your skin goes through a lot of changes because your hormones are changing. Well, when you eat and drink dairy made from antibiotic and, high hormonal, cows, it's going to change the way your skin is. So it's all relative. Veganism. I eat vegan a lot. I'm not a vegan, but I love to eat vegan food. This is just one thing that I will just say from experience. I have many vegan clients over the years who, they feel very healthy. They feel great eating this vegan diet. You just have to be very, very careful that you're getting enough protein. You have to be very deliberate and mindful of that, because one thing that I found over the years with my clients who are vegans for a long time, they all come to me after a couple of years and they say, my skin is literally like falling off my face. Like I have no collagen, I have no muscle. I don't know what happened to all the fat. Like everything is just falling. And that's just a pattern that I've noticed. I don't have any scientific data or I haven't even read anything that talks about that, but that's just my own observation over 17 years. A lot of my clients who are vegan for long periods of time, they struggle with getting enough protein to fuel the creation of strong muscles. And we have over 60 muscles in the face. So really important that we keep those nice and strong. Same with the collagen. You need to make sure that you're getting enough amino acids, enough minerals and trace elements, and those are found in a variety of different foods. So if you are a vegan, that's totally fine. I just wanted to make a note that it's something that you should strongly consider is making sure, maybe working with a naturopath or a dietitian or some sort of food counselor or coach to make sure that you're getting adequate amounts of protein. Okay. And then obviously anything that's processed. So one of my rules of thumb is when I go to the grocery store, I try to never buy anything in boxes or bags. And obviously, number one, I want to eat as fresh as I possibly can, eating lots of produce, lots of vegetables, lots of fruits. But one of the biggest reasons is that I try to avoid anything processed, anything in a package. And this goes along with my next point, which is to try to eat organic and non-GMO. Your body has to process out and assimilate all of the things that you're eating on a daily basis. So if you are eating something with a lot of excess fillers, meaning like extra emulsifiers, colors, preservatives, things to help to keep that food fresh on the shelf, anything like that, that may make the food taste great. It may make you feel nourished. And you're going to get the right amount of calories, proteins, carbs, fats, all that good stuff. But your liver and your kidneys and your digestive tract still has to manage and still has to process all of those things out. And so when you're compounding your system with excess fillers, excess preservatives, excess sugars, extra things in your food that you don't actually need, your body's going to have a harder time breaking all that stuff down. And an overtaxed and overworked liver is going to lead to a whole host of different things, specifically skin problems. You're going to have more puffiness in your skin because your body's not able to process everything out. You're going to probably start having more breakouts because your hormones are going to start changing when you have all these excess toxins in your body. So I really encourage you to try your very, very best. I know it's not 100% all the time possible to eat super organic and clean. I myself go out to restaurants, I eat, and I just, I live my life. I try to do the whole 80-20 rule where 80% of what I eat and what I do is clean, it's beautiful, it's organic. And the other 20% I just let happen. And usually it just rolls right off of me because the 80% of the time that I'm eating healthy, it helps to build my system to be able to handle that 20% of the time when I'm having cake or a glass of wine. So just something to keep in mind. I want to go now into foods that we should be eating, because this is the part where you can start flooding your body with certain nutrients, and it will not only start to push out all of the things that you don't want to eat, but your body's going to start to crave it. Once you start to see these changes that happen in your face, in your skin, in your energy levels, in your hormones, in your relationships, because when we eat well, we feel better, and that affects everything in our lives. It's just going to have an overall positive impact. So number one, water. You should be drinking 2 to 3 liters a day, depending on how much you weigh, depending on how active you are. Obviously, if you're very active, you're going to want to drink a lot more water, but our bodies are made up of 70% water. So it makes sense, if we want to have better looking skin, we have to drink enough fluids to go through our entire body, get to all of our organs, serve all those organs so they can function optimally. And our skin is unfortunately the last place where we see the benefits of drinking enough water. So that's why it's so important that you're drinking 2 to 3 liters of water a day. One of my best tips is first thing when you wake up, before you have your coffee, before you even turn your phone on, drink a couple glasses of water. I have usually 2 to 3 glasses of water every single morning before I do anything else. And it not only helps to get my digestion going, which helps to clear the skin, but it also just helps to detox and clean out my entire body and system. And that's another thing that is really beneficial for skin health. And you're not going to see it right away, but after about a week, try that trick for 1 week and you'll start to see that your skin is looking more hydrated, it's more plump, it's more clear, and you're going to just feel a lot better as well. Okay, next on my list here, probiotics. Okay, so this is actually a really big one. A lot of times, and I see this again a lot with my acne clients that come see me in the treatment room. Many times it's an imbalance in the gut that is causing or wreaking havoc on their skin. So we have our good bacteria and we have our bad bacteria, and there should be a healthy balance of both. What happens is when we're eating conventional meats, which are high in omega-6s, when we're eating conventional meats that are full of hormones and full of just the hormones and the bad bacteria that we don't want to eat, that starts to build up in our own bodies. And a lot of times when we're even drinking tap water, they've found, or there's been some research to show that there's some antibiotic substances even in our water. So we're constantly being bombarded with this influx of antibiotics to kill all the bacteria in our system. And that messes with the balance of the bad and the good. So in order to balance our gut, to see better, clearer skin, we have to add in those probiotics. Now you can take a daily probiotic, but supplemental form, although very effective, you're always going to want to change every couple months because you need your body needs new strains of those good bacteria to continue to flourish. So what I typically recommend is starting to incorporate probiotic foods. And there's so many different kinds. You can just put in a search, probiotic foods. Some of my favorite probiotic foods that I eat almost every single day is some sort of fermented food, like a sauerkraut or kimchi. I also always have some kind of kefir in the house. If you can handle kefir, it's so great to have just as a medicinal tonic, just a little bit every day. That's full of good bacteria. I usually put a little cinnamon and honey in that, and it's a nice little nightcap. You can have authentic miso soup. That's a good probiotic as well. Kombucha. There's so many ways that you can start to get natural probiotics into your life on a daily basis. And it's going to just help to heal your gut. Anytime that we're healing the gut, we're healing the skin at the same time. Okay, healthy fats. This is really important. I'm not sure what the age of everybody here on this live is, but there was a time, and I remember because I lived through it, where fat was the enemy, where we didn't want to eat fat. It was frowned upon. It was what made us fat. But what we found, and I'm sure many of you are hip to, you know, the new research that's coming out now, if you're actually eating healthy fats, not only is it good for your neurological system, it's good for brain health, but it's actually really good for our skin. It helps to keep our skin supple. It helps to keep it moisturized. It helps to keep the cell membranes intact. And that's really important when we're talking about skin health as well, is our cell membrane, the integrity of the cell, of all of our skin cells, is going to lead to more radiant, a more radiant complexion, clearer skin, less wrinkles, because we're replenishing all of the things that, and the cell metabolism processes that all of our trillions of cells go through on a daily basis. Okay, next. A lot of these I already kind of went through, but you always want to make sure that you have high quality proteins. That means organic, grass-fed, pasture-raised, however, you know, you need to get your proteins in. Make sure that you're getting enough proteins. Again, your proteins are your amino acids that are the building blocks for your collagen. They're the building blocks for the muscles. Our faces are made up of, you know, our bones, our muscles, our collagen, our fat, our connective tissue, our skin. I talk a lot about this on my Instagram. So again, if you guys want to follow me there, I go into a lot more depth about how the face ages and why, and what's really going on. But making sure that you're getting enough protein is one of the easiest ways to make sure that you're keeping your muscles and your collagen nice and healthy. And then put colors on your plate. The more colors, the better. Phytonutrients, all of the minerals and all of the antioxidants that you're getting from colorful fruits and vegetables. Even if it's just, you know, like 3 or 4 different colors a day, make sure that that's something that you're thinking about. Like, how can I add more color to my plate? Do I need berries? Do I need sweet potatoes? What about greens? What can I do for that? Eggplants, all of these different fruits and vegetables with their different colors have different compounds in them that play different roles in the body. So I could go into a whole other class just on that. Again, I highly recommend you guys start educating yourself about this information so that it puts more power into your hands when you're going to the grocery store, when you're going to the farmer's market, when you're making dinner, when you're preparing food for yourself or for your family. You can make those choices that are going to foster not only your health, but also a better complexion. Vitamin C, obviously, this is something that we all know. Vitamin C is in a lot of beauty elixirs, and it's in a lot of things that we see on the market today that we not only use topically, but really important to get in internally. And that's because vitamin C is such a potent antioxidant that helps with wound healing. It helps with collagen synthesis. It helps to naturally protect our skin from UV radiation. So vitamin C, really important. And vitamin C is not just oranges and lemons and citrus stuff. Yes, that's where you get a lot of it, but you can actually find a lot of vitamin C in things like cabbage, broccoli, sweet potatoes, the strawberries. There are so many different foods. Again, just do a quick search. Foods high in vitamin C. You'll find that there's plenty of options and plenty of ways that you can be getting vitamin C in daily. You can also supplement with vitamin C, but again, like anything, always better to get the natural food source rather than relying on the supplemental source. And then the last thing I'll talk about for our diet, I get this question a lot. Should I take collagen supplements? And the answer is, it's up to you. All collagen supplements are made a little bit differently. There's bovine collagen. There's also marine collagen. My personal theory is that marine collagen is one of the best. It comes from the ocean. It comes from seaweed. It comes from the fish. And that's where we have all the minerals and trace elements that our cells need to function optimally. But if you have mixed feelings about like, okay, well, eating collagen, is that the same as, making collagen? That's actually a really good question. And I think that sometimes we have to, think about what are the things that build collagen. And that's really what I usually do. I do take a marine collagen supplement. It does help with hair growth. It keeps my skin nice and healthy, but I don't rely on marine collagen to provide support for my collagen. I'm focusing on what is going to build the amino acids in my body, because the amino acids are what creates the structure for our dermis, for our collagen layer, for our muscles, for our skin. It's all of those little micronutrients, all of those trace elements, those minerals, and the amino acids that build the structure of our tissue. So if you're going to take a collagen supplement, I think that's fine. I would not rely on that solely. I would also look into what are some other ways that you can build your collagen naturally. Okay, so I have talked about that. I'm going to take a couple questions now. If you guys have any, I'm going to check the chat, and then we're going to get into our facial massage. And this is a really basic, intuitive, super easy movements that you can do. You can do this daily. You can just take a few tips from the facial massage and do them at home today or throughout the week, and start to notice any fun changes. So I'm going to head on over to the chat. I don't know. Oh, wait, that's not it. Okay. Okay, so we don't have any questions yet. I'm wondering if you guys can see me. I'm hoping so. Okay. All right. So I don't have any questions in the chat right now. So let's get right into this facial massage. If you have your oil, I'm going to take a sip of water. Okay. When you're massaging your face, it's always important. You don't want to over oil your skin. If you put too much oil on your skin, your hands are going to be slipping and sliding everywhere. The idea with facial massage, you want to have a little bit of a grip on the skin. You want to be able to manipulate the tissue. There are different ways that we're going to be massaging our face. Sometimes we're going to use firm pressure, and the firm pressure is used to break up muscle tension, which when we're holding tension in the muscles, that's what leads to stagnation in the face. It also helps to, when we're using firm pressure, it helps to break up any tight connective tissue. Connective tissue is that mesh-like structure all over the face, all over the body, that tends to get tighter when we're not moving enough, when we're immobile in any way. So we want to break that up using medium to firm pressure. And then sometimes we want to just drain some inflammation and fluid. For that, you're going to use a lighter touch because you're working with your lymphatic system. The lymphatic system runs really superficially right underneath the skin. So we want to make sure that we're moving some of that fluid appropriately. So we have to really lighten up our pressure. I'm going to start with about 5 or 6 drops of oil. That's all you need. And you can start putting that all over your face and follow along. Always going to get the neck as well. At this point, I may want to see if I can see everyone else. So I can see if you guys are doing okay. Okay. Okay, I can't see that. So we're just going to continue. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, just warm up the lymph nodes here. And I'm just using light pressure, just waking up the lymphatic system on either side of the neck. We have lymph nodes all around the ear here, all down the side of the neck in this clavicle area. If we don't open up this lymphatic system first before massaging, none of the work that we do here is going to be as effective. So I always just like to give a couple strokes here on the side of the neck. If I'm really feeling sore, if I'm really feeling tight, then what I recommend that you do is just start to do some neck stretches, just waking all of this up. Again, if you have muscle tension in your shoulders and your chest and your back and your neck, all of that tension is going to translate to holding tension in the face, not allowing our muscles to move as effectively, and creating blockages and obstacles so that, you know, nothing is flowing the way we want it to. Okay, So now I'm just going to take my fingers and we're going to start to drain any fluid that we're holding underneath this chin area. Again, really light pressure here. We're still working with our lymphatic system just to drain any of that fluid out. And if you start to feel that you're getting tired or you're feeling a wave of relaxation, or maybe you just feel yourself swallowing more, those are all signs that we have opened up the lymphatic system and you've got things moving and going. Okay, another really great one to do right here on the jawline is just put your thumbs underneath your chin. And we're just going to move from the chin to the ears. A big part of facial massage is working on our posture at the same time. So if you notice, my shoulders are aligned, they're at a 90-degree angle, they're not up here. Whenever we learn something new, we always have a tendency to creep up like this. When we do that, it creates more tension in the body, which then creates tension and tightness in the face. So you're working on opening up your chest, bringing your shoulders down, relaxing them, toning the neck, sitting up nice and tall, breathing into your belly at the same time, so that this is not simply a facial massage. This is a full upper body exercise all the way to the ears. Good. And now just start to slide your fingers across your chin. Medium pressure here. We're breaking up some of the connective tissue right now, and we're just starting to massage that chin muscle. If you really relax your face, which is hard for me to do when I'm talking, but if you just relax your face, you'll start to see that this glides very easily, and you'll really start to feel those muscles right here in the chin and how tight they are. Maybe you're carrying a lot of tension there. Okay. And now we're going to just bring our hands to one side, medium pressure here. Now we're actually going to, instead of working on the lymphatic system, we're stretching out some of the connective tissue, bringing more movement into our skin. Our connective tissue, when it's really tight, it also holds onto moisture. So doing small exercises like this will actually help to moisturize your skin at the same time that we're creating more of that contour of the jawline. Switch to the other side. And I'm bringing my hand all the way to my ear up here, and the other hand is just following. Again, I'm focused on my posture. I'm focused on keeping my shoulders relaxed while I do this, so that it is a full face massage with exercising the neck and the shoulders at the same time. Okay, and now this one is going to be, oh, I need a little bit more oil to do this. You can always add more. We're going to do something called fanning. And fanning is a really great way to increase circulation on the face. So I'm going to turn my head so you guys can see how I'm doing this. And my fingers are just feathering up, grabbing that tissue and bringing more circulation to the whole area. If this is too hard for you to get that motion down, and then instead of using gloves, use mittens, okay? And then just come up like this until you can get the hang of it, and you can start to fan. And the vibration of this is also helping to plump collagen and wake up any sluggishness that we have in our skin. So we're switching to the other side now. Again, don't forget about your breath, taking that deep belly breath. Good. And now we're going to work on shaping the cheekbones. One of my favorite ways to do that is to take the thumbs and drive them underneath the cheekbones here. So you're right about here. We're using firm pressure here. We have a lot of adhesions that collect right underneath the cheekbones, and that is what may be preventing your cheekbones from looking more, more defined. So we're just going to break that up. And then coming all the way up to the temple and then holding right here. We're working on lifting that connective tissue into the scalp. Everything is connected. So the muscles that we have here are connected to the connective tissue in our head, which is connected to the muscles in our neck and down in our back. So it's all connected. So we're working on breaking up some of the tension here and lifting. So massage and lift. And this should be a very stress-reducing, relaxing massage movement. And you can do this one every day, and it feels so good. Another really easy way, if you want another way to massage around the cheekbones, is to do what I call T-Rex hands. And you're just coming out to the hairline in this way. Again, be mindful of your shoulders. This one is a really easy one to do like this. You want to work on the posture of your body. A lot of times that's why I wear these type of robes, so that I can really see the symmetry and how much I'm stretching out and using every possible inch that I can. Okay, and now we're going to massage right along the nose here. There's a muscle that runs right along the nose on either side. And when it gets really tight right here, it starts to pull up like this. And when it pulls up like this, it creates more of that fold here. So we are releasing the tension. And you'll feel that it's very sensitive right in here. And that's because we carry a lot of tension here, an area that we may not be aware of. And massaging here can help to relax those nasolabial fold lines. It can help to release any inflammation that we're holding in the center of the face. And I'm just going up and down, super easy movements, nothing fancy here. These are massage movements that anyone can do every single day. I'm just bringing them to light for you. If you want to go a little bit more of an advanced way of doing this, what you're going to do is take your knuckles, you're going to come down the nose, and then as you come down, you're going to flip up and hold your cheeks like that. Okay, so that's the more advanced way of massaging here. Coming down and curling up. Coming down and curling up. And now we're just going to lighten our pressure, now working with our lymphatic system, removing and eliminating, clearing any inflammation under the eyes. This pressure is so light, I'm barely touching my skin. If you guys, again, if you're following me on Instagram, you know I'm also really big on face yoga. And I just launched a studio where I go through classes with facial massage, face yoga, reflexology. We use a lot of Gua Sha, a lot of different techniques and skincare workouts that range anywhere from 5 minutes to 30 minutes that you can do something every day for your skin. Okay, so now what we're going to do, there's a ring muscle around our eyes here. And the reason why we start to see the crow's feet here is because that muscle gets really tight in here. So what we're going to do is spread the connective tissue and spread the muscle out right on the sides of the eyes here, just helping to relax that muscle. When you get Botox injections, what's essentially happening is that medication is going into the muscle and it's relaxing it. It's paralyzing it and putting it to sleep so it no longer is going to be able to contract. So what we're doing with facial massage and some of these modalities is we are essentially mimicking that by manually relaxing these muscles. So that is all we are doing here. We're spreading them out and just helping that muscle to stay in that relaxed state so that it's no longer crunching together. You can already see this eye is a little bit more open now than this one. And that's what daily practice can do for you. It can give you some more sustained results. And it just really helps to put power back into your own hands. It helps you to embrace the aging process, embrace your skin at every stage of your life. Okay. So now let's do the forehead. Just start by coming across your forehead with your palms. This is a really nice one to do just for your nervous system and just to bring some circulation to the forehead area. And then as I'm coming across, I'm also bringing my pinky right along the underside of that brow so we can get rid of any fluid that is pooling on the upper lid. Again, working on that posture, just being aware, becoming more aware of your body and how you hold yourself up, how you hold your face. This will translate to the natural habits that you have in your daily life. So now we're going to, what I like to do is crisscross here and lift the brows and caterpillaring the fingers. This gives the brows a nice lift. It gets rid of any puffiness and fluid that we're carrying around in our eyes. And then we just come right on up like that. So let's do that one more time. Caterpillaring your fingers all up in the brows and lifting into the hairline. Now just take your knuckle and little circles all over the forehead. This is a really great massage technique to do anytime you're trying to relieve a headache. Also really good for releasing the connective tissue on the forehead. When we have tight connective tissue on the forehead, that's what's holding those wrinkles in place. So we're releasing the wrinkles, we're releasing the tightness that's leading to wrinkles in this area. And then just coming right here in the 11 lines. And this may be sensitive for you. If it's sensitive for you, that probably means that you need to come back to this area and work on it daily, because you're probably carrying a lot of tension here and you're probably very focused at what you do and maybe a little bit worried. You may be even carrying some repressed anger in your body somewhere, and you need to release it. And so this can help us do that. Okay, start to come down. We're going to do light lymphatic strokes here, down the sides of the nose, and then the rest of your tissue is being pulled all the way to the ears. Again, super simple movement. I'm hoping you guys will memorize some of these so you can use in your daily practice. Starting to come down now to the bottom half of the face. And the more we can move lymph out, either through massage techniques like this or through Gua Sha, which I teach a lot, again, in my studio or on my Instagram, you'll start to actually see more of a lift, more defined features, because we're getting rid of the excess fluid and excess water that we carry in the face due to a sluggish lymphatic system. So just a couple more times like this. And can do a couple strokes here. And then what I like to do is just come to the sides of the neck again. And then just bring it all back down. Bringing all the work we did back down to the collarbone so it can be eliminated. This is an area where the body helps to eliminate any waste. So we're just coming right down there. Okay, and that's it. We just did a full face massage. I think that maybe took about 15 minutes or so, something like that. Again, guys, I have a lot more facial massage routines, combination massages that we combine face yoga and Gua Sha and facial reflexology within my studio. You can go to my website, beautyshamans.com, and you can sign up for the Skin Within Studio there. I also sell skincare products on the website as well, shipping right now to the US and Canada. I'm going to see if there's any questions, but otherwise, I think we are ready to wrap up. Let me see. Every spring, I seem to have a really bad breakout this year. Of one a lot, other appears. So this sounds like an allergy issue. Someone is saying in the chat that they get really bad breakouts. This year's been really bad, been taking antihistamines, but this keeps happening. Yeah, I mean, your suggestion is absolutely right. Drinking lots of water will really help. I actually just posted on my Instagram one of the last 2 or 3 posts that I just did. If you go to at Beauty Shamans, I posted ways that you can get rid or help to clear up your sinuses. So that could be something that's happening as well. The breakouts, though, is mostly just a sign that your immune system is probably, working really hard to clear the sinus, congestion or sinus infection. And so when your immune system has its eyes on one thing, it turns its back to something else like acne. So it could just be that you may just want to work on boosting your immune system as much as you can, using some of those guidelines that I gave for the food suggestions, drinking lots of water, staying away from sugar, dairy, anything that's pro-inflammatory. Let's see. Okay. I think someone else is asking, did you say to avoid coffee? How about decaf? I don't avoid coffee. I love coffee. I just think that when you drink coffee, a lot of times it's very easy to end up putting a lot of sugary things in it. And that can lead to all sorts of things. Also, if you are drinking a lot of coffee, I'm talking like 2 or 3 cups a day and it's really strong, that's going to eventually have a negative effect on our adrenals and lead to something called adrenal fatigue. And when we have adrenal fatigue, there's a whole host of health problems that we can see from that. So I never tell people to avoid coffee, but if it is becoming a negative thing in your life where you're up all night, you're tired during the day, that's like one of the top signs of adrenal fatigue. You may need to revisit your dosage, maybe get on some cleaner coffee, because all coffee is also made differently. There are pesticides in coffee, so you want to go for something organic. I personally buy coffee from Pure Roast, and it's organic and low acid, and they put extra antioxidants in it. So I forget how you spell it. I think it's PUROAST, Pure Roast coffee. And I ordered that and it's been working really well. I got one of my girlfriends on it because she was suffering from acid reflux and GERD, and she started drinking that and now she can tolerate having coffee. All right. Thank you guys so much. I think we are wrapping up. It's been we are about done with our time. So thank you so much.